When I mess up, I'm pretty much saying just like, you gotta do better than this. If you don't, you know, it's just like, it seems like it's the end of the world.
Those who are literate can make it in life. Those who are illiterate don't make it in life.
In our society, literacy is bound up in virtually everything we do. It's hard to imagine getting through a day without having to read. I have an assignment I give to my graduate students that I make them keep a diary for 2 weeks of everything that involves literacy that they do. And they have to write down the time of the day and what it was and what the piece of material is. A lot of students can't finish the assignment. They can't get through the day. They can't drive in their car. They can't walk into a store. They can't do anything without being embedded in literacy and having to read or write for some reason or other.
If you lack proficiency in reading, that it's hard to be self-actualized, it's hard to have a decent job, it's hard, so much is difficult.
If I read a book and then I feel like a lot smarter.
Does reading make you smarter? The answer is yes. Crystallized intelligence is just massively built by reading itself, okay? Independent of education, independent of fluid intelligence.
Ultimately, the measures of your cognitive abilities tend to move down in the direction of your reading abilities.
Reading isn't just about the acquisition of information. It also becomes the principal gateway for the acquisition of new language.
Well, after fourth grade or during fourth grade and beyond, vocabulary now enters through print. It doesn't enter through hanging out with your friends on the corner.
If vocabulary is going to grow after the fourth grade, then necessarily you have to be exposed to such words. The factors is enormous. It's 5 to 1, 10 to 1, 20 to 1 that a written source is going to give you more of just those exposures.
Multiple exposure to words builds vocabulary. As vocabulary grows, you enhance your capacity to participate in all of this content area discussion. Science, social studies, history. All of this is going around you now, and you're increasingly being left out. If you're not even if you're a non-reader, if you're a poor reader, if you're a kid who chooses not to read, if you're the kind of youngster that is never going to pick up a book and is going to put it down as soon as you can after someone puts it in your hand.
We looked at exposure and to other media, okay, electronic media, television, reading, again, educational level, intelligence. If crystallized knowledge is part of your concept of intelligence, and it is for 90% of the theorists out there, then in fact reading does make you smarter.
A highly proficient reader has learned how to learn. They've learned how to learn from their reading, to learn from their writing, how to, a really powerfully literate person understands things about the structure of knowledge and information and story and conversation, and all of that becomes an array of tools for continued learning and continual ability to respond to and manipulate their environment writ large.
If you don't learn to read, ultimately your acquisition of science information, historical information, political science, you name it, is all going to be extraordinarily limited by that.